Hello, welcome, my dear students. Today we'll talk about the human resource management and its importance and the relationship between the human resource management department and the other departments in organizations. Let's go and check out what we came for, then we'll see. So, what about the human resource management and its functions, its main functions? That's what we are going to see now. Uh, okay. Here is uh, the main jobs of the human resource management: conducting duties, conducting job analysis, and planning labor needs to check out what the labor's needs, and they plan for satisfying their own needs, and the recruiting jobs as well, selecting among the candidates, because when you make a recruitment, when you recruit, you will have many employees, prospective employees or candidates. You have to choose one of them. Orienting and training new employees, this is another point, and managing wages and salaries. So those are the main duties of human resource management. Also, providing incentives and benefits. This is one of the most important jobs of them. Appraising performance means evaluating the performance of the employees and checking out their work is done based on what's supposed to be or no as the standards. Communicating with all the levels in all the departments, on the other departments, like as example the financial departments, the production departments. So you have to communicate with all of those. Training employees and developing managers, and the training, by the way, is ongoing process. It's always working, it's moving, always, never stop training. Building employees relation and engagement, either this relation was with the unions or the bargaining external bodies or entities. All this is very important to build a good relationship with the outer entities. It's outer, the mean by I mean by outer, those who is out of the organization, out of the borders of the organization or the company. As example, the labor unions and any and suppliers and whoever treat or deal in direct, either direct or indirect, with the organization. Oh, and the word organization, I mean by it the company which we are working in. So that was the first part, the duties of the human resource management. I think we have to go for the video here that is supposed to be, and I would say, what do we mean by human resource management? Or you could check any video you want to see and check out more for more functions, more than what I said about the human resource management. What are the variables that affect the performance? Think about this question. What are the variables that will affect the performance of the human resource management as well? Also, I want you to define, you can define the aspects of human resource management. I want you guys after the class just to write down, after I finish this lecture, I just want you to write down the main aspects of human resource management. What is the definition and what are the duties of human resource management? Do you think there is a relationship between management function and human resource management? Give reasons. Of course, there is a relationship. This relationship means if the human resource management is doing its job as it's supposed to be, then this will be a success for the whole management and for the whole company. The way they do their job right, that will affect their profits, productivity. People will love each other inside the organization. Everything will be on the right place at the right time. So this all goes to the importance of the human resource management. Notice that the human resource management is a department connected to the other departments in the organization. And the success or the failure of a part of the organization, which is the human resource, means the success of the failure for the whole company as well. So, yeah. Uh, is it important for all managers, the human resource department? Yes. Before this, in the previous decades, Human resource department was a part of the organization, but it might be joined to someone else. As example, you might find a production manager, and in the same time, he's a human resource manager. Nowadays, with the rapid technology and increasing of the population and increasing of the workers in any organization and the full automizing system which is happening, and the rapid change of technology, like we said, and the system of the structures of organizations nowadays, all this makes there is a necessity to separate human resource management from other departments. Make it very necessary to separate it from the jobs like financial job, production job, marketing job. It became an independent entity in the organizations because of the unique role which is playing and the importance of human being, because human is the main source of production factors. We have four production factors. You cannot do any business without four things: without the money or the capital, without the human resource or the people, without the land or the natural resources, and without the machineries and assets which you will have. The best the best factor of those, the most important factor of those is the human, because without the human, you won't be able to do anything. So if the human is good, then your organization is well and doing well. So that's why the we have to care about the humans in any organization. Who will care about the humans in any organization? It is the job of the human resource management. Okay, there are some personal mistakes we have to avoid it. Like what? Employees are not doing their best. They are not working as well. Hiring the wrong person. Now I'm interviewing someone. I'm responsible about interviewing some prospective employees or candidates. Then the criterias of mine in selecting was something was wrong in it. So I choose a wrong person, not in the right place. High turnover. What do we mean by the turnover? Turnover means people who come to join the work and leave the work. Who comes to join the work and leave the work. This is what we call turnover. So what? So what? Turnover in itself is not nice. As it increase, whenever it increase, that does not mean it's a good indicator for the company's performance. Because that means that, okay, if I join you now to work and I left you after 1 month or 2 months or whatever, what are the reasons? The reasons are I found a job in another place with a high pay. The reasons are I am not comfortable in working with you here in your company because you are not giving me good pay, you are not treating me good treatment. I feel inequity, not equity. I feel like you are treating me like I'm in second class or the third class, and you prefer other people than me in wages, in treatments, in rewards, in bonuses, in motives. Other reason for the high turnover is if there is a stress in the organization. If I find more stress, then I will look for a job in another place. If the job duties are not clear, and this is another reason, if everything is not clear and you are just leaving me to depend on correcting my mistakes by the trial and error without giving me very clear job description and job analysis, so I will do mistakes, and while I'm doing mistakes, you will come and punish me. So, what is the use? I will look for another place. So, if there is ambiguity or something is not clear in the work content, then I will leave the work and I will go and work in other places. And this is what's causing high turnover. Legal ramification for discriminatory actions. So, discrimination is very bad in workplace, and this is one of the reasons also for the high turnover as well. Unsafe company practices, there is hazard, there is risk, risk of injury, There's a lot of things. So this also personal mistakes at work. Lack of training undermining performance. You are not trained well. You are not trained well to work. So this is also another mistake of the human or the man being human being. Unfair labor practices like doing things not supposed to be done either in work or out of work, like the sexual harassments, all this bullying, all this will make the practices of the labor's problem, big problem, and it will affect negatively on the performance. So there's some personal mistakes. So why we are studying the human resource manager? Uh, human resource management is very important because it tends to make a good relationship between the people and each other. Okay, the recruiting, interviewing, selecting, and training. We will know about them later on. There are always in any organization, there are two kinds of stuff. We have a stuff that's called line authority, and we have a stuff that's called staff authority. So, what the difference between them? Line authority, he has to give orders and expect that you obey these orders. Staff authority, the right to give advice. The first one, the line authority, the right to give orders. But the second one, the staff authority, the right to give advices, but not to give orders. And this is the main difference between them. So you have to obey the one who's in line staff, but you have not to obey the one who's in on the staff authority. You have to obey the line authority, but you have not to, you are not um, I mean you are not forced to obey the staff authority because they have only the right to advise, and you can take with his advice or no. It's left up to you. So we have to place the right person in the right job. Starting new employees in organizations, this is the responsibility of the line manager in human resource. In human resource, the line manager is responsible about these points. Putting the right person in the right place, placing the right person in the right place. I'm working in department, I deserve to work in this department. Starting new employees in the organization. If I hired someone and he will start to work for me, it's the responsible of the manager of the line authority. Training employees, the people which I hired, I have to train them. Improving job performance, my people who are working with me, I am as a line manager, I have always to improve and train them continuously. Never stop training them. Gaining cooperation and developing smooth relationship should be a good relationship between the manager and the line manager and his employees. Always there must be a good relationship, otherwise this will lead to a panic and big problems, because if the relationship was not good between the manager and the employees, that will make them fed up or frustrated. Then that will reduce their morale and their motives to work. Then they will start to look for a work in another place. Then the turnover will be high because they will be dismissed, or they will leave the work and look for work in another place. Then people, the production and the productivity of working in this company will be low down. Uh, Lines managers also his responsibilities interpreting the company's policies and procedures. He is responsible about all the procedures, and it must be known. And everyone must, and it's not by the word, it must be written, the procedures of everything. Job description, job analysis, all belong to the job, must be known and informed officially to a new employees. And the old employees also are aware of it through through the panels, through the publishers. Everything is not a hidden policy. It must be known by everyone in the organization. Controlling labor costs, yes, that's true, because usually what the line manager do is trying always to reduce the costs, because when I reduce the cost, I will reduce the total costs, then I will increase the profits. And this is the main measure of any manager. Developing the abilities of each person, creating and maintaining department morale. If the morale is high, then the productivity will be high. Protecting employees' health and physical condition. And this is another point, that I have to protect their health and their physical condition. That's fine. The human resource department are recruiters representative for the organization itself. They must do job analysis, and they are the one who will analyze the job and do the job analysis, which including the job description and job specification. What are the duties of this job? What are the tasks? What's required from every employee? What are the times of work? What are the break times? When he will stop working? When he will go back to work? The schedules of work, the rotation schedules, the times, everything, the duties of this job, the responsibilities, and the authorities of the job. Everything should be clear. Okay. Training specialist, also the human resource department are specialists in training, and the training is ongoing process, by the way. So it's not only when the employee join the work for the first time, but always you must train your employees on doing the job. Labor's relations specialist. Yes, the human resource or spokesman on behalf of the human resource department in particular, and the and the organization in general, in front of what they are talking, negotiating and bargaining with the union labors, legues, any outer entities that has direct or indirect relationships with your company. So the human resource are always responsible about these relationships, labor relationships, the wages, the pays, the working conditions, the hazards, the risk at work, all this, they are the representative of the employees which they are working in with, on behalf of them, towards the people, the outer people or the outer organizations, like I said. Now, nowadays, we have corporate human resource team, embedded human resource team, centers of expertises for the human resource team. Today, today the whole world is changing. There are new important trends. Workforce diversity. There's a place people are working from all the world. Technology and workforce, the rapid way of the technology, those all today affecting on the human resource management performance. These things are variables that affect the performance of human resource, and that necessitate a new rule for the human resource management. So, workforce diversity, technology, and workforce. The globalization. The globalization means the world became like a small village because of the world, the whole world became like a small village because of what? Because of the high level of communication and technology all over the world. Now you can know what's happening in Iraq or Afghanistan before you listen to or smell the food which is coming to you from your neighbor's house. This is the globalization. The world village became like a small village. In the small village, everyone know the other. So this is the point. Economic challenges today in our world, like the Wall Street crisis, the ups and downs in the economic, the falls of the economic, the recessions all over the world. Something like today, like the COVID, which make us all of us work from home, was not expected. And the human resource management department also, the rule of those also has changed, because they are working now not like before, they are working virtual. So this is how it, okay. Economic and workplace workforce projections also, this is one of the points we talk about. The economic challenges makes The rule is changing for the human resource. Consequences for this, it affects on the human resource performance and the sustainability also. It affects on the philosophy of the human resource, and it affects on the strategies used by the human resource, and affects on the competencies used by the human resource, and the skills also. The skills of the people who are working the human resource should be affected with these variables. So these variables affect the human resource work, and the competencies and the ethics and the certifications. All those are affected by the human resource management. So the human resource management is affected by all this, and consequences for this, we have to have a new human resource that is able to deal with the changes in technology, to the changes in the economic challenges, to the changes in the globalization and the effects of the globalization on the local or domestic and the international companies as well, the multinationals. So we have a new rule, a new type of human resource management should be now there and existing and working, not like 100 years ago. The rules are changing, of course, because of those variables. They changed the rule of the human resource management. Uh, there are a lot of problems in the human resource that the human resource is challenging. One of them, the unemployment rate. The second one, slow growing of labor force. Third, aging population. And the aging population problem, let me tell you something. It's regarding the people who become aged and no manpower relieve them, because the society, either kids or small young people who are under 18 years of age, or very aged people like 70 and who are not able to work. So the construction or the structure of the working force tends to be no manpower or rare manpower or low supply of manpower because of the problem of the aging. So human resources dealing with all these problems. It affects on the performance of the human resource, of course, and employee engagement also is one of the topics which we say how to affect and activate your employee engagement to become a part of your organization. When he talk about his organization, he said, don't say the company. He said, my company or our company. Engage in work and like the work and like the place which he is working in, and his morale is high, so his productivity is high. This all affect about the employees' engagement. Today, the ethics topic is very important in the whole world. The ethic topic, because the ethic is the norms which is inside you and is telling you what you ought to do and what you ought not to do towards a situation, or no one in the whole world say that killing is good or lying is good. So there is a universal acceptance of some norms of the ethics. While the culture, there is a partial differences in ethics due to the culture. So in a place with diversity and a lot of people working from here and from there, like Canada's example, there must be a code of ethic to unify all these people together. All these people who come just in one pot, and they have to have a unified code of ethics that help them. Ethics like code of conduct, what you have to do and what you have to do, duty of care, your responsibilities, your authorities. All this comes under the ethics. Uh, So this was about the human resource management. We talked today about the human resource management. We talk about the human resource, the role that the human resource management is playing. Human resource should be a independent department, not like before. Before it might be one of the departments. The manager was a production manager and human resource management manager as well. But now, no, it is independent, separated department due to the changes. And the variables that's affecting the human resource performance is too much. We talk about some of them, like the technology, like the globalization, like changes in the economic situation, and the aging problem, and the code of ethics, and employees engagement. All these things all together affect the human resource management's duties and responsibilities, and need to create, like COVID-19 now is one of them, because now we are all working virtual. So human resources are working virtual as well. So their rule must be adapted and updated based on the changes which is happening in the outer environment. So this affected, we need so to get a new human resource management which is able to deal with these changes. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next video. Have a good night. Take care. Bye bye. Please don't forget the subscription and like if you like this video. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.